$0 in savings, $1,200 in checking, $340 due in 9 days, no inheritance coming, no investor waiting, no safety net beneath the one you're currently standing on, which is thinner than you've admitted to anyone, including yourself. This is not a hypothetical. This is a real starting point, yours, or someone close to you, or the version of you that existed not that long ago. And the question it produces isn't, how did I get here? It's the harder one, the one that actually matters. What do I do now from exactly here with exactly this? Here's the truth nobody told you clearly enough. Turning nothing into something is not a talent problem, not a luck problem, not a question of who your parents were or which city you grew up in or whether the timing was favorable. It is a progression, a specific sequence of levels, each with its own rules, its own traps, and its own version of you that must be built before the next level opens. Every person who built something from nothing went through exactly these levels, not similar levels, these exact ones. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which level you're on and what the next one actually requires from you. Level 1. The decision. The first level costs nothing. It produces nothing visible. No account balance changes, no income increases, no external evidence that anything has shifted at all, and yet without it, every level that follows is impossible, because this level is the foundation beneath the foundation. It is a decision, made in private, often at a low point, often without witnesses, often at the exact moment when the evidence around you is most persuasive that nothing will change. A specific, quiet, non-negotiable commitment that your current financial position is not your permanent one, not motivation, not inspiration, not the feeling that things are about to turn around. The deliberate, eyes-open decision to stop accepting the default outcome and start building an alternative before the conditions feel right, before the support is there, before any evidence exists to justify the belief. Here is what makes this level harder than it sounds. The decision requires you to believe something is possible, while your income, your history, your environment, and the people around you are actively producing evidence to the contrary. Your bank statement says one thing. Your decision has to say something different, and it has to hold. But the trap at level 1 is not the discomfort. It isn't the doubt. It is this. Deciding is not starting. Most people make this decision with complete sincerity and then wait for the right moment, the right conditions, the right level of readiness before they act on it. And in that waiting, the decision dissolves. The decision to build is the most important financial move you'll ever make, and the most fragile because without immediate action attached to it, it dissolves within 72 hours. Most people lose here before they even know the game has started. Level 2. The first $1,000. The first $1,000 does not change your financial life. It changes your financial identity, and that is worth significantly more than the number. Before your first $1,000 saved or earned outside your normal income, financial progress is theoretical. It's something you've read about, planned for, intended to pursue. After it, it is proven by you, to you, using your own behavior as the evidence. And that proof carries a weight that no financial advice, no motivational content, no external encouragement ever could. It doesn't matter how the $1,000 arrives at this level. Freelance work done on evenings and weekends, items sold that were sitting unused, expenses cut aggressively and redirected with discipline rather than absorbed into spending. The method is irrelevant. What matters is that you produced a financial outcome your previous behavior never produced. That break in the pattern, that single deviation from the default, is the real asset. The $1,000 is just the evidence of it. But this level has a trap, and it is more expensive than most people expect. 73% of people who build their first $1,000 emergency fund deplete it within 4 months. The money was real. The behavioral identity that produced it wasn't deep enough to hold under the pressure of the first unexpected expense, the first temptation, the first moment when spending felt more immediate than building. Your first $1,000 is the most psychologically significant milestone in the entire journey, not because of what it buys, but because of what it proves about who you're becoming. And what you do with it in the next 30 days determines whether the proof holds. Level 3. The stabilization. Your income now covers your expenses, barely or comfortably, but consistently. And now you face the level that most people skip entirely in their urgency to get to the part that feels like building. The floor. A 3-month emergency fund that exists not to be used but to remove the structural vulnerability that one unexpected expense has always had over your financial life. High-interest debt eliminated because carrying $5,000 at 22% APR costs you $1,100 per year in pure interest, and no investment reliably returns 22% guaranteed. Your monthly surplus automated before your lifestyle has any opportunity to absorb it, transferred on the day your paycheck arrives before any discretionary decision is made. This level takes 6 to 18 months. It produces nothing you can share, no investment returns to show, no visible transformation anyone outside your bank account would notice, just the slow, unglamorous construction of a foundation that removes every structural vulnerability beneath everything you're about to build above it. Here is the number that makes the floor concrete. At $3,000 in monthly expenses, your 3-month buffer is $9,000, buildable in exactly 12 months on a $750 monthly surplus. Not dramatic, not exciting, completely transformative in what it makes possible afterward. The floor feels like delay, like you're preparing to build while everyone else is already building. But without it, every level above this one is one emergency away from collapsing back to zero. And that collapse costs more in time, in momentum, in the psychological damage of starting over than the floor ever cost to build. Level 4. The first asset. For the first time in your financial life, you own something that produces returns independent of your direct labor. An index fund with $200 per month flowing in automatically on the same day every month without your intervention, without your emotional involvement, without your permission required for it to work. A digital product that generates sales while you're offline, a small equity position in a business generating returns you didn't have to clock hours to earn. The asset is modest. The principal it represents is enormous. Here is what $200 per month actually becomes. Invested at 8% annual return for 25 years, it produces $190,000. The same $200 per month spent on lifestyle upgrades produces zero. Same dollar. Completely different destination, determined entirely by the single decision made at this level about where the money goes when it arrives. But level 4 carries a behavioral challenge that catches almost everyone who starts from nothing. To deploy money into an asset, you have to watch money leave your account. And for someone who built this from $0, who felt the specific anxiety of $1,200 in checking with $340 due in 9 days, watching money leave still triggers a scarcity response that your nervous system hasn't fully updated from. The threat isn't real anymore, the response is, and overriding it, systematically, automatically, every month, is the actual work this level requires. The first asset doesn't make you wealthy. It makes you someone who owns assets. And that identity shift from someone who spends income to someone who deploys it is worth more than the asset's current value. But most people at this level make one specific mistake that quietly undoes the entire progression. Level 5. The second stream. Your entire financial life currently depends on one decision made in a room you'll never be invited into by a person who may not know your name during a budget conversation you'll never hear about until the outcome arrives in your email. One restructuring, one eliminated role, one shift in business strategy, and your income, the single input that funds your debt payments, your investment contributions, your emergency fund, your entire financial structure, disappears. The single income source is not just a financial vulnerability. It is the primary mechanism of control over your professional life. It is why you stay in roles that drain you, why you don't negotiate the raise you've already earned, why you say yes to projects you should decline. Your compliance isn't weakness, it's the logical response to financial exposure. The escape is a second income stream generating $600 to $1,200 per month within 18 months, built from a skill you already possess, offered to a specific person experiencing a specific problem. Not to replace your salary, to remove the desperation that makes your salary a trap in the first place, and the deployment rule that transforms this level from supplemental income into genuine wealth building. Every dollar from the second stream routes directly and automatically into your investment account. The monthly contribution doubles, the monthly cost of your life stays identical, the compounding curve bends upward. The second stream doesn't just add income, it removes leverage. The moment your employer no longer holds complete financial control over your decisions, everything about how you show up professionally changes permanently. But there's one final level that separates the people who built something from the people who built something that lasts. Level 6. The compounding point. There is a specific month, unremarkable from the outside, indistinguishable from the months before it, when something changes in the arithmetic of your financial life. Your investment account grows by more than your monthly contribution, not from a market spike, not from a lucky position, from the returns on your existing balance producing returns of their own. The second income stream reinvesting its own output. The compounding that was theoretical in month 1, a concept you understood intellectually but couldn't feel, is now a visible, monthly, undeniable number sitting in your account statement. You are no longer the primary driver of your own financial growth. The system has taken over. Here is the mathematical weight of arriving at this moment early versus late, starting at 22 instead of 32 on a $500 monthly investment at 9% annual return produces $130,000 more by retirement. Not from contributing more, not from finding superior investments, but from 10 additional years of this exact moment compounding forward. 10 years of the system running before you started is worth $130,000 that no amount of future effort fully recovers. But this level has one specific enemy that claims more portfolios than any market crash ever has: complexity creep. As your portfolio grows large enough to matter, it begins attracting attention from financial advisors offering sophisticated products, from alternative investment vehicles promising superior returns, from the quiet cultural suggestion that wealth at this scale deserves a more advanced approach than the simple automated strategy that produced it. Most of these products underperform the simple strategy already working. The fees are real. The drag on compounding is real. The most dangerous moment in your financial journey isn't the crash. It's the moment the portfolio gets large enough that people start trying to complicate it, because complexity costs compounding. And compounding, left completely uninterrupted, is the only force in finance that works entirely and unconditionally in your favor. Which level are you actually on? Here is what this entire journey has been pointing toward. Every level is real. The private decision made without witnesses at a low point. The first $1,000 that proved the model works with your own behavior as the evidence. The unglamorous floor that took 12 months to build and produced nothing shareable. The first asset that made you someone who deploys income instead of spending it. The second stream that removed the leverage your employer had over your professional life. The compounding point where the system finally outgrew your direct involvement. And right now, without the version of you that wants to appear further along, without the aspirational answer, you know exactly which level your current behavior reflects, not which level you're learning about, not which level you intend to reach, the one your actual financial decisions show up as today. The distance between nothing and something is not talent. It is not luck. It is not the circumstances you were handed or the timing of your beginning or the people who did or didn't help you. It is a specific sequence of decisions and identity shifts, one level at a time. And every single level is available to you from exactly where you are right now. Nothing doesn't have to stay nothing, but it only becomes something through the progression. And the progression only moves when you're honest about which level you're actually on. Drop your level in the comments. Be honest, not aspirational. The map only works from where you actually are. And if this changed something, the next video shows exactly what to build at your level first.